Yo, what is up guys? I bought a CBR 650R off a lovely bloke somewhere in the bowels of Melbourne's outer metropolitan area.
Here she is, fellas. The new toy.
I did what I do with most of my bike purchases. I rode it home. This wasn't a dramatic or harrowing experience, but there were a few obstacles I encountered along the way. So I thought I'd make this as a cautionary tale for any inexperienced riders thinking of riding their new bike back home. Let's get to it. Before I even hopped on the bike to ride it back home, there were already a few red flags. I test rode the bike up and down the street before purchasing it, so I knew the front tyre was badly squared off. This made low speed manoeuvring a nightmare. This was my biggest issue with the whole situation. When you're on a motorcycle, having a dodgy tyre is a massive risk. The roads were also extremely wet after a heavy rain. I almost didn't pick it up that night, but the rain eased off, so I figured I'd go ahead with it. But there was still plenty of dampness and moisture left on the road. Finally, to top it off, I was running a bit late because I had work and the bike was a fair distance from me, so by the time I got there it was already getting pretty dark. I remembered to bring all my gear except for a pair of gloves. As you know, one of the first things you do when you come off a bike is stick your hands out to break the fall, so it's already looking pretty bleak. Thankfully, the seller was a decent bloke and he actually lent me a pair of gloves to take home. With that being sorted, I hopped on the bike and the first thing I noticed was that the input controls were just straight up discombobulating.
Oh my God, it feels so weird. It feels so weird.
The clutch lever sits so far out, the bite point had been adjusted to max range, the clip-ons were lowered so the whole dynamic of the bike was different to what I've previously ridden. The indicators are in a different spot to the 400 and the R3. I know it's a different bike compared to the Ninja and the R3, but wowee, I didn't expect it to be so foreign to me. Not even my 60-second test ride prepared me for this unfamiliarity, as I was purely focused on the mechanical condition of the bike while testing it.
That clutch is so far out, man.
Combine these factors with a very damp road and it turns every roundabout, intersection and corner into a nerve-wracking gamble. I lost my dad for a bit, so I pulled over to let him catch up, and then I took off once he was behind me. As you can see, I consulted my mirrors and did a head check. As soon as I'm on the road, I see a pair of headlights pretty close behind me, and I realize I've partially pulled out in front of someone. I talk mad shit about the Ninja 400 mirrors, but for the first time in my life, I actually came to appreciate them.
Oh man, this is such a rough ride. There's just a huge blind spot I realize on these mirrors that the Ninja 400 didn't have.
Thankfully, it's not all doom and gloom though. I fell in love with the brakes from the first moment I pulled that front lever. I also got to moderately open the taps and understand just how much more power I was sitting on compared to the 400 and the R3. And finally, I had that warm, fuzzy new bike feeling coursing through my veins. So it was far from a smooth, enjoyable, chill, pleasant experience, but it was still something that I enjoyed thoroughly because of the challenge it presented and the fact that I was on a brand new to me crotch rocket that I had been lusting over for quite some time. Over the next few days, I worked on the bike getting it ready for roadworthy. I actually rode it to the tyre shop to get the tyre changed, and this would arguably be my first proper ride of the thing. It handled the freeway like an absolute dream compared to the little Ninja. There you have it folks. If you're a new rider, savor that first ride back home, but just be cautious of both the expected and unexpected hurdles you may have to overcome. I've got a first impression video of the CBR 650R coming soon, so stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. I will catch you on the next one.
You say you've got them guns, but I've never seen you bang. You say you've got them drugs, but I've never seen you slang.